Family dinners had always been my sanctuary. Every Sunday, my husband, my two sons, and their wives gathered around the long oak table that had been in our family for decades. It was noisy, sometimes messy, but it was love stitched into routine. That night, though, the air carried a strange heaviness. My younger son's wife, Claire, had been quiet the whole evening, her fork barely touching her plate. I assumed she was tired, but deep down, something in me stirred with unease. When dessert was served, Claire suddenly stood. She smoothed the front of her dress with trembling hands and looked directly at me. My heart skipped. Her eyes weren't soft or playful as usual. They were sharp, watery, full of something I couldn't name. Then she reached into her purse and pulled out a white envelope. "This is for you," she said, placing it carefully beside my plate. The table fell silent. My older son cleared his throat, my husband frowned, and I felt the weight of the envelope as if it were made of stone. I picked it up slowly, my fingers trembling, and asked, "What is this, Claire?" Her lips pressed into a thin line. "The truth. Something you should have known a long time ago." Her voice cracked on the last words, and my stomach turned. My mind raced. Was she leaving my son? Did she find out something terrible? Why would she say I should have known? I slipped a finger under the flap, tore it open, and pulled out the folded pages inside. The room blurred as I read the first line. "You think you know your family, but there are secrets buried so deep, even you can't imagine them. I can't stay silent anymore, not when lies are destroying us." The words swam on the page. My hands shook as I flipped to the next part. That's when the dagger slid in. "Your husband and we've been having an affair." The sound that escaped me wasn't human. It was broken, guttural, ripped from somewhere deep inside. The room erupted. My younger son shot up from his chair shouting, "Claire, what the hell is this?" My husband's face went white as chalk. He didn't deny it. His silence screamed louder than any confession could. Claire stood rigid, tears running down her face. "I'm sorry. I couldn't keep pretending. I couldn't keep smiling at this table, knowing what I've done, knowing what he's done." She gestured toward my husband, and I felt the world collapse. I looked at the man I had shared a life with for 40 years. The man who had held my hand through storms, who had promised me loyalty, who had sat at this very table carving the Thanksgiving turkey every year. His eyes avoided mine, his shoulders sagging under a guilt he could no longer hide. "Say something," I whispered, my voice barely audible. But he couldn't. He wouldn't. That silence will haunt me until the end of my days. My son was shaking with rage, his fists balled at his sides. "You destroyed everything," he spat at Claire. "You destroyed us." "I destroyed myself too," she whispered back, collapsing into her chair. The rest of the evening dissolved into chaos. Shouts, sobs, broken glass as my older son threw his cup against the wall. And me? I just sat there, holding that letter, reading those words again and again, as though staring at them long enough might change the reality they painted. Eventually, everyone left, my son storming out, Claire fleeing upstairs, and my husband retreating to the study like a coward. I sat alone at the dining table, the plates cold, the candles burned down to stubs, the envelope still beside me like a curse. Her words still echo in my mind. "Something you should have known." And maybe she was right. Maybe the signs were always there, but I chose to look away, to protect the image of the family I loved so much. Now every Sunday dinner is gone. The table is silent. The house is too big, too empty, too full of ghosts. All because of one envelope. And the truth I never wanted to know.